between the New York Giants and the Atlanta Falcons. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Now here's the first carry for DeMarco Murray. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. The numbers for DeMarco Murray a week ago. 22 carries, 87 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
They'll fake it. Now Love. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. On first down, Murray. And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. 5 yards left for the offense. It's second down. From the gun, here's Love. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal.
The running game's played a huge part in getting him down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brought you.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards, a good run there, and now second and goal. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Second and goal to go now. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Now, this is a crew. They've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats, but really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. And now here's a carry heading left. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers that can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. It's completed to Caldwell. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
Well, Parker, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect him.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them. Maybe occupy people, make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board, but the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if, while the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position.
New York set to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. They'll buy some time right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. So on fourth down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get him.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta.
That drive was quick and impressive. Almost like they had somewhere else they needed to be after the game.
He's got it, and it's 17-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Returning it, John Ross. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. New York set to take the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hope.
It's caught inside the 25. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 53 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner. Toughness in the pocket, strong and stout, but let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston, then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. 3rd and long. It's Luck. The pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. New York set to take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Open man right side is Ingram. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and it's second down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Flushed out right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the return will stop right around the 25. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over, yet they are humans out there running.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. He's at the 30, past the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there, 94 yards. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. So from back deep in their own territory, all the way into the end zone, do you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. Now a first down throw, Locke. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it a second down. On second down, here's Locke. Over the middle, complete. It's James. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Luck on first down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, Luck. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Luck now on 2nd down. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. And his kick is indeed good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. It's a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the first half to expand that lead.
Yeah, that's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or a big yardage to set up the other team for one last chance to score themselves.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his right. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And before we could even hear from Larry, we're back and ready to go in Week 5. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Looking to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Tim Williams, tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
It's taken to the 26. A good return there, 17 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
That was second down run for Murray. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a third down and 8.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Play action. It's Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at about the 14. Nice job bringing that one back. 14. On the return, and it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The New York set to take the field, and on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On the run, it's Kelly. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And Caldwell's got it over the middle. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Back to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They'll run it now out of the gun. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football. He
gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Love. Room here to run. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. That goes for a gain of 31. And now a first down following that long gain. They'll run it left side with Murray. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try the air now with Locke. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Well, they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Back to the ground game. Here's Murray. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. On 3rd down, Murray. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be 4th down now.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Elsewhere, they have gone to the 3rd quarter now in Dallas. And the Cowboys have added on to their lead. C.J. Anderson, a touchdown on the ground in that one. So they settled for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this one's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Here we go now. Green.
They're going to look to throw. Flush to his right. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
They go play action here on first down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes it down deep into Atlanta territory. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Evan Ingram, his second touchdown on the season. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They'll try and run it up the middle. But he will not get into the end zone. And that one hurts as it will remain a 2-score game here in the fourth. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. DeMarco Murray and company heading back onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
To throw on second down is Locke. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Out of the gun, Locke. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Throw left side complete. It's James. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is brought in at the 21. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to let this thing go. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there for the Giants. 43 yards. On play action, they'll throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll drop to throw. Got his man. It's Caldwell. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 5-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Eluding the press. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cameron Jordan in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll look to throw. Hold in here, Caldwell. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They gotta have 6 here. It's third and goal. They'll set up to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
A handoff. It's Murray. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. On third down, that's Murray. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. And play is stopped here. Timeout It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Back to throw. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And that disastrous play partner is ultimately going to seal their fate in this one, isn't it?
It certainly is, because they give up the 2 points, but that's not really what did it. It's having to give up the football. And because they gave up the football, guess what? The other team now can take the ball and close this game out.
So locked down to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Falcons, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Saints will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss.